Now, speaking of meth, you remember the hit show Breaking Bad. Its characters made methamphetamine, which can look like chunks or shards of ice. But now, as the drug makes a big comeback, for the first time, the Ohio State Highway Patrol is seizing meth that has morphed. Anchor Kristen Hartman joins us to explain the evolution that has troopers worried.
And Tanya, here's why it has them worried. What do these look like to you? A vitamin? Maybe a Tylenol? The pills you see here are actually something troopers are calling pressed meth. In the last couple of months, they've seized it right here in the tri-state twice, and they say it makes getting a meth high as easy as popping a pill. The Highway Patrol has a huge room of confiscated drugs. You see the boxes floor to ceiling. So this is where everything comes that you guys seize. Okay. And sometimes they stumble on something different. Just in the past few months, their crime lab tested 2 separate sets of pills. Troopers took off the streets in Warren and Butler counties. Members of Lieutenant Mark Gooding's team seized what they thought was the club drug ecstasy. X has long come in cartoonish shapes, and the pills they found look like Darth Vader, appropriately menacing when you consider what they really are. Meth pressed into pill form.
It's a new way that drug cartels are beginning to market methamphetamine.
It's the first time I've actually seen the tablets come back as pure meth and not an amphetamine or a heroin derivative with the meth mixed in.
Does that concern you at all?
It concerns me that college students and people using these types of pills don't know what they're buying. They take it thinking it's ecstasy and it's meth. It could elevate their heart rate and body temperature, and then they got other complications.
They could die from that.
They could die from that.
Another concern, hooking a whole new group of people on what some might consider a cleaner meth.
Instead of having to buy something like this on the street.
That looks nefarious.
Right. This looks scary.
Yeah.
This looks scary. But instead of having to buy this on a street, grind it up, either smoke it or snort it or inject it, what now the cartels are producing pills so that someone similar to taking an opiate pill can just take a pill and get high.
And it takes over without you even realizing it's taking over.
Amy Lyons shares their worry. She knows what meth can do to you. At one point, she says she had a $6,000 a month addiction to the traditional form of the drug that started like any other with that very first use.
It is the most intense euphoria. If you could think of your happiest day of your life with the most adrenaline pushed through your body, imagine that times 100. You choose to pick it up for the first time, but after that the addiction takes over and it's not your choice anymore.
Amy spent 5 months in inpatient rehab. She's more than 200 days sober, but before she got on the path to better, meth stole everything from her. She lost her son, her job, her home, her car. She shares her story because she wants people to know there's hope.
It's really exciting to be able to say I can be that voice in recovery.
And because she wants them to understand meth's dangers, especially with a version of the drug that perhaps seems more innocent. Why is the cartel trying to make meth look like something else?
Because they want to find new users, a new place, a new person to sell their drugs to. It reduces the fear in people of doing a hard drug because now it's just a tablet.
And that's what's scary about it. Lieutenant Sellers told me from 2017 to 2018, meth seizures measured in grams are up 255%. For the Highway Patrol, confiscated meth is outpacing cocaine and heroin. Sellers said they think they're seeing movement to meth because dealers have lost clients to the heroin fentanyl mix.
Okay, so Kristen, there is some precedent for this type of pill form, right?
Yeah, Lieutenant Sellers says look at the opioid epidemic and how it started with pills.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
Kristen, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have lots more ahead for you tonight on 9 on Your Side at 11.
I've had a cough for 2.5 weeks now.
Black mold found. Health concerns at a place designated to protect women and children.
I have babies who are sick, and I feel like that's dead wrong.
The steps being taken to address the problem at the Bethany House. When 9 on Your Side at 11 returns.
You're watching 9 on Your Side at 11.
New at 11, black mold at a place designated to protect women and children. A mom of 6 contacted 9 on Your Side with her concerns about health and safety at Bethany House. Kristen Swilley got answers from the organization and tells us what steps they say that they are taking to remedy this problem.
The executive director of the Bethany House says there was black mold inside the facility. She says it's gone now, but the mom you're about to meet brought her 6 children here to Cincinnati Children's Hospital and says she's skeptical the problem's been fixed.
I have babies who are sick, and I feel like that's dead wrong.
This is what Erica Jackson saw night after night. Then her children started getting sick.
He began wheezing and coughing last Saturday, I want to say. After that, it continued on up until Monday, and I took all 6 of my children because they all experienced cold-like symptoms.
That's when she got this diagnosis from doctors at Children's: respiratory infections. Their symptoms were due to mold exposure.
I made phone calls to the health department. I've made phone calls to legal aid. I've had a sit-down meeting with the president of the Bethany House.
The executive director took us to the bathroom where Jackson took that video and says the mold is completely gone. Jackson isn't convinced.
And my thing is, if you clean it from the surface, it was on the HVAC system, so it has to be in the ventilation system. And that's still not being cured if you're only fixing the surface and you're not fixing how it's circulating through the house.
She's not sure what her next step will be, but says she couldn't stay quiet.
Because at some point, somebody got to speak up, and I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be everybody in the house's voice.
Jackson says her medical bills are being covered by Medicaid, so she and her children are able to access the health care they need. The executive director of the Bethany House tells me they do take all health and safety concerns very seriously and work to address them as soon as they're brought to light. Reporting at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, Kristen Swilley, 9 on Your Side.